Hello, and welcome to my video. My name is Quill. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you like, and that you comment, and that you subscribe.
Well, hello. So I am here again with Sansa style hair because this is the second episode for our second episode of Game of Thrones, celebrating the final season. I hope you enjoyed the latest episode of Game of Thrones. Hope you get to watch it. There will be no spoilers here, don't worry, but I am wearing a style that was slightly featured, inspired by the style that she wore in the most recent episode. So we are going to get into her makeup. It's very natural, very easy to wear, but it's still a lot of fun to do. And she's next up. Alright, let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, we're going in with our foundation. And it's funny because I've already actually been to work today, so I had to entirely take my makeup off, do my hair in the Sansa style, and I'm going to have to do it again whenever I go to work because I don't especially want to go to work looking like Sansa. Alright, now I'm going to go in with concealer and corrector. She has beautiful under eyes. Just no blue veins like I have or dark circles. It's very, very bright and beautiful. Alright, corrector done. Onto the concealer. And since she is so bright, I'm going to be going in the highlight region just to lighten up that area and brighten it. You want to do your makeup too? So pretty! Very quickly, I'm going to go in with my translucent powder here. I'm going to try to blend in any fine lines as quickly as I can and set it. You know, I was one of those people that did not really enjoy Sansa that much whenever I first started watching. I didn't dislike her, but she just reminds you of, you know, the people that you knew growing up, and you know exactly who they remind you of. Like, oh, come on, honey, please. I'm going to go in with Buck to contour. We found this last time with our Melisandre video, and I'm going to go in again. And what's interesting is that Sansa and Melisandre have very similar contouring along that. I'm not going to go as harsh this time as I did with Melisandre because she was drastically different with her face shape, but Sansa and I actually have relatively similar face shapes. But there's just a little bit of a contour. So we're just going to take that line from there and go down, and we're going to make it as seamless as possible. Probably go over it again with that beauty blender. And I'm going to go in with a detailed brush once again, just because I don't want to get crazy with it. And we are not going to use NARS whatsoever because she's in Winterfell for God knows how long, and it is cold and there's no sun. There's sun. Actually, wear SPF whenever it's still snowy outside because the snow reflects the sun off onto your face. I do really think that her strength and perseverance is something to be admired, and I do think they're really recognizing that in the show without giving any spoilers. I think they're finally being like, oh yeah, which I think they've known that all along, but I think it's nice that they're actually kind of showing it off. So she does have a few different facial features than I have. So I'm going to take my contouring blush brush that I usually use, and I'm going to try to make those dimples in my face where she has them naturally, just with her facial structure. But I'm going to be so light about this because she has a dimple on her forehead between there and there. And then I'm just bringing it down into the temples. Then we're going to blend that in and blend some of that shimmer away, hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my blush brush. This is the Lancome Blush Subtil Delicate Oil-Free Powder Blush in Rose Fresque. You know what? Never mind. I'm not using this. I'm going to use my beauty blender. Okay, so I'm going to use my beauty blender because I think it will give a more lifelike, coming from the inside kind of look. And we're just going to take that on the apples. Nowhere else. We are going to go back in with the contour, and I always forget to contour the nose and the eye area until way later. So we're going to go back and do that. So we just went a curve from where my eyebrows start and went in a straight line, and then she has a little bit more curved nostrils than I have, so we are attempting to curve them. So we just did a little half circle around where my nostrils are. So now I'm going to take some concealer straight down the nose, again to add a little bit of highlight. I'm going to use that also to blend out some of those lines as well to make it a bit more seamless. Again, her nose shape, similar to Melisandre's, is the tip is a little bit different as well, so I'm going to go in and adjust that as well. It is very weird to see yourself with a different nose shape than you typically have. I don't know how well you can tell from there, but definitely in the mirror, it's pretty odd. Okay, so I'm going to go in with brows now. I keep putting this away, but it's my mirror. And I have no excuse because I use this as my mirror every single day. Okay, so I am in the middle of growing out my brows because Amelia Clark says that she's never had her brows done, and I made that mistake whenever I was like 13. So Sansa has pretty thin brows, so I'm going to try to brush them together as much as I can, and maybe even use some concealer possibly to block them out a little bit. I don't really feel like doing the whole glue stick. I have a little concealer brush here, so I'm going to go in and try to wipe them out. I think my natural brush will be just fine for Sansa's brow tone. So I just filled them in very lightly at the beginning. I did a very sharp line and a sharp line, and then in the very center of that, between the two sharp lines, that's where the end of her brow is. But it's not like smooth over the top, it is and then in the center, straight out. And then I also did a stronger uppercut to where that line was, because that's how it looks. And then I probably could have done a stronger down cut, but So what do you guys think about how weird Bran is acting? Bran is acting very, very weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I trust him. Little baby boo Bran. I want to trust him, but he's acting weird. And just scooping in those brows. Now we are going to go in on our eyelids. So do you think Bran is still a loving member of the family, or do you think he is this weird, bipartisan, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Do you think he's even like involved at all, or if he's just like backing off, not influencing anything? Or do you think he's the Night King? I've seen that floating around on the internet. It's acting real weird. Real weird. Alright, so we are going in with the Naked Urban Decay. Oh, I can't even comprehend how this doesn't exist anymore. It bothers me. They're gonna come out and charge like twice as much for it. So we're going in with the Naked shade there. And we're just going to put that all over the lid. And then we're going to go in with another color in the crease. I think it's interesting how, to me, this shade always looks a little bit darker on the lid than it does in the pan. I do think I'm going to take a little bit of my Wet n Wild Brulee shade here and lighten that up as much as I can. So now I'm going to take the shade that we have contoured with this whole time, Buck, and I'm going to put that into the crease, but it's such a sharp crease. So I'm going to go in with the sharper end of this brush instead of the fluffy bit at first, because I'm going to try to sharpen that out as much as possible. And it does not go all the way to the bottom, it is simply in the crease, and it does not go all the way across either. I just blended that out a little bit. Now I'm going to go back into Brulee, and I'm going to go right where I can see hold all of my little baby hair brows. So I'm going to go back into Brulee with my finger, and I'm going to go in between where I stopped and before I got to the edge of my eye here on the outer corner. I'm going to go in with Brulee. Alright, so now I'm going to take anything with a little sharp edge, any kind of brush like that. I do have a flat one, but that one needs to be washed because I used some eyeliner with it. But we're going to go in with a dark shade, which I think I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Hill, and we are going to blend that in as liner, but I'm going to use it very light-handed. I think I'm just going to go with straight black, and this palette has a matte black in it here, down in the right-hand corner, getting that on there, taking it all off. And I'm definitely not going to go all the way in with this. I'm just going to stop the center of my pupil. The Naked palette also has a black in it, but it is shimmery and I do not want any. Alright, I'm done with that. So we've done brows, we've done eyeshadow, we have not done mascara. I always forget to curl my lashes, so we're going to do that. Which I think this is going to do a great job at blending out all of that eyeshadow eyeliner we just did. Alright, last but not least, actually, one last contour bit before we get onto lipstick. I'm still working on remembering all the contour I want to do. Okay, so we're gonna go back into that Naked palette with Buck. We are not going to get any eyeshadow on it this time. Well, other than Buck. Oh my gosh, it's like the Baratheons. Okay, so we are going to contour that chin because she has such a sharp chin. Is that just me realizing that I'm in love with Sansa? She's a very attractive lady. In other news, Tabitha needs to go out and buy an actual dang contour and not use Naked palette for everything because it's gonna run out. She says that she hasn't ever hit pan in anything. We are just giving a 90-degree angle on that because her chin is so sharp. My chin does have a little bit more of a divot than hers has. I mean, all I can really do for that is go in with some more concealer, maybe right under the chin. So actually, whenever I said only like 1 or 2 more things, I meant like 3. New jawline, go! I'm going to go in with a lip liner brush because I own one lip liner and it is pale. And I'm going to stroke it and then do a little lip line and then fill in with the brush as well. For this, I'm going in with an Estee Lauder. I actually wore this on my wedding and it's a beautiful color. Thank you for putting up with my ridiculous hair. I worked really hard on it though. But alas, this is not a hair channel and I don't know if I'll ever be able to do a hair tutorial. Don't really know if I want to. It was very hard work getting this hair for you guys, so you're welcome. Alright, so for the finished look, here is... Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I have to go and rip this out of my hair and go to work in like 10 minutes. Bye, you guys. Thank you. I would appreciate it if you would comment down below your thoughts on the new season of Game of Thrones. If you appreciate this series that I'm doing, I would also appreciate it if you would like and if you would subscribe as well. Thank you so much. Bye.